sorry. We're, we're, we're live. We're live. Chunga, my friends. A chunga. I'm Trev the Rev, and I ain't no vicar. And with me is the Lady Ross.
Evening, people. Hello.
Yeah, she's gone beyond the symbol. Oh, isn't she? She's actually more and more into the madness of the show. Ooh. Ooh. Welcome, Chunga. I'm Trev the Rev, and I ain't no vicar. Welcome to the show. I'm hoping you've enjoyed the beautiful weather that surrounds us at the moment. Beautiful weather of the moment. It's a shame we can't go very far out, isn't it, at the moment? It's a shame. It's a shame. Although things have gotten slightly better. You are allowed to go out on constant walk, long to keep your distance. Keep your distance, people. Keep your distance.
As far as you want.
Right, let's go to business. Let's get to business. If you've enjoyed the show, please hit that thumbs up. If you want to know when the show's coming out and you want to see some more, please hit the subscribe button down below. And when you want to know when the shows are coming out, just ring my bell, ring the bell, ding dong, ding a ling a ling. Welcome. Yes. Well, I bet you're now wondering. What is Project Serpo? What is Project Serpo? I've never heard of that. Well, you have heard of it. Most people that I have spoken to actually know what Project Serpo is about. You just never heard of it under the terms of Project Serpo. If I was to go, dun, 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 dun. You're most probably thinking at the moment, what the hell is he doing? What the hell is he on about? Yes, well, dun, 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 is the most well-known tune from a film made in 1977, I believe. I'll just double check my notes in a minute, called Close Encounters of the Third Kind. And one of the biggest points of this film was when a massive UFO turned up, and we were talking to the people in the UFO, but with music. Hence the term. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah. Brilliant film. As soon as I finish talking about it, you're going to have to go away, find the DVD, and watch it. I bet you. Because always come on when I'm on air. I'm fine when I'm not on air. The moment I'm on air, let's start. Shall we begin? Yes, shall we begin? We're going to begin. Ooh. In November 1977, I was 7 years old then, Steven Spielberg released his movie Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Dun, 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 dun. It was a financial and artistic success. It received a number of accolades, including nominations for 4 Golden Globes, 8 Academy Awards, and in 2007. In 2007, the US Library of Congress deemed the film culturally, historically, and aesthetically significant and chose it for preservation in the library for all time. Now, for those new to the topic, the title of Spielberg's movie came from the UFO classification developed by astronomer and UFO researcher J. Allen Hynek's classification. Now, you might recognise that name, Hynek, if you watch Blue Book on Sci-Fi.
Sci-Fi, I believe.
In America, it's under a different channel. If you haven't watched it, I'll recommend you watch this show. It's only in the second season. Plenty of time to catch up. So yeah, I do recommend it. His classification of UFO encounters and encounters of the first kind. Now, let's start with the film for a minute and understand what this means. Encounters of the first kind, someone sees a UFO at a distance closer than 500 feet and is able to give a pretty good description of the object. Encounters of the second kind, the viewing of a UFO creates a physical sensation. For example, encounter may involve a feeling of heat or a feeling of paralysis in the body. Encounters of the third kind is encounters in which a type of animated creature accompanies UFO encounter. In other words, someone comes out and goes, "How you doing? Take me to your level." You better not, because your leaders are lunatics. No. Um, Hynek was an advisor to the US Air Force on several of its UFO study projects. While he was bound by security clearances, he was undoubtedly privy to information that he was unable to share publicly. He also had a cameo appearance in the Spielberg movie. I didn't know that. I'll have to look into it and see if I can find it. Really? That's noisy. It's going to be on the film. This is how you can tell the show is live. Ooga! In the movie, there are human encounters with extraterrestrials, and in the end, one person voluntarily decides to join the ETs. Now, if you haven't seen the film yet, I've just ruined it. Oh well, not really. I do apologise. Yes, yes, I do apologise if you haven't seen the film. But even if you didn't see the film, you want to see the film. Trust me, it's one of Spielberg's best, especially for the time it was made. Could there be any truth to the story? Is it possible that Earth has been contacted by ETs? Of course it is. And that Americans have visited other planets. Read about the Serpo exchange program and President Reagan's knowledge of Project Serpo. I know. That noise you heard earlier on was the Lady Roz writing down a note saying, "I haven't done a joke yet."
It's because he normally does one at the beginning of the
Well, I thought
show.
I'd do a joke between the two. Ah!
Now you've lost your place.
I know exactly who I am. Don't you worry. I know exactly who I am. The planet Serpo, that's SERPO, exchange project traces its origin to the famous Roswell incident, where a UFO reportedly crashed into planes, not the helicopters, but the planes, near Socorro, New Mexico, on May 31st, 1947. The remains of the craft and one living ET found home, along with the bodies of his four companions, were taken to Roswell for analysis. Meanwhile, the government reported to the American public, telling them they're only weather balloons. Yeah, right. They weren't weather balloons. As it turned out, there were two crashes. The remains of the second UFO were not found until about 2 years later. It appeared that two spacecraft had crashed into each other. By then, six bodies of dead aliens had decomposed, but there wasn't much of them left. Even so, the remains were taken to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base for evaluation and study. Roswell living ET, later named EBE-1, or extraterrestrial biological entity, was friendly and calm. He attempted to communicate, spoke internal qualities. He went, "ET fell home. Get the RSC out to fix my spaceship." Oh, I put that in. Spoke in tonal qualities that Americans were never able to understand or speak. According to UFO researcher Len Caston, EBE-1 seemed very intelligent and was able to quickly learn English. He informed his keepers that he was from a planet called Serpo, about 40 light years away in the Zeta Reticuli system. That's Zeta, Z-E-T-A, and Reticuli. I hope I pronounced that a bit right. It's Reticuli, system. EBE1, let's just say EBI1, that's that, EBI1. That's makes it easier to roll off tongue. EBI1. Not Obi-Wan, but EBI1. Worked with a salvaged communication device in the space vehicle. Try and contact his home planet. He tried 6 times, and all 6 times the communication system failed. In early 1951, Ebi-Wan sadly passed away without ever making contact with his home. It was sort of like Ebi-Wan found her apple. That's how it sort of went, you know. His effort was not unrewarded. In December 1952, the military made contact with the alien race referred to the Ebons, who lived on the planet Serpo in the Zeta Reticuli system, and communications transpired over the next 9 years. During this time, an exchange program between the inhabitants of the two planets, Earth and Serpo, was created. 12 American astronauts, 10 men and 2 women, were selected for the experiment. There were strict requirements in order for a person to join the program, and the training was rigorous. In short, the ones chosen for the journey could not be married or have children. And though it was not a requirement, having living family members like parents and siblings was not ideal. The assignment required their unquestioned absence for 10 years. No one on Earth should be concerned about their whereabouts for the duration of the mission. The exchange was scheduled to occur at Holloman Air Force Base in April 24, 1964, with approval from President John F. Kennedy. 2 Eben spaceships landed as planned. A contingent of American government personnel greeted them. The 12 American astronauts prepared to embark on their adventure, but for some reason the exchange got postponed. The Ebens retrieved the remains of their dead comrades and left. The Ebens returned in July 1965 and picked up the passengers, but according to Caston, only one Eben stayed behind on Earth. So that's the start. Now, the Earth travellers took literally tons of supplies with them, including food, medicine, weapons, and jeeps and motorcycles. But during the trip, they ate Eben food, which they heartily disliked because it tasted like paper, sort of like airplane food, you know, or train food, very similar. On the journey, they explored the spacecraft and were able to communicate with Earth. Unfortunately, one American had some kind of accident and died on the trip. No, he wasn't spaced out. They completed the 40 light year distance in only 10 months. When the spacecraft landed and the Americans disembarked, they received quite a positive welcome. A large number of Ebens were present to greet them, and an Eben female spokesperson spoke to them in fluent English. The astronauts were overwhelmed with the brightness of the two suns. It was about 107 degrees, and they were all in great discomfort due to the heat, which remained a problem for them during their entire stay on the planet. The Americans expected to stay in Serpo for 10 years, but as it turned out, due to their confusion with the calendars, they stayed 13 years, like a baker's dozen, you know. It was difficult to keep track of the days and times since the planet had 2 suns, and it never got completely dark. One day on Eben lasted 40 hours, as opposed to our 24. During their stay on Serpo, the Americans learned what they could about the history of the Ebens. The population of Serpo at the time of the visit was about 650,000, and all were Ebens. There were no other race or species on the planet apart from the Ebens. Astronauts learned about the Ebens' religious beliefs and technology. It seemed they lived fairly primitively for a culture that had advanced technology. Ebens had anti-gravity vehicles they used for ground transportation. After a few years, the Americans moved to the northern part of the planet where it was cooler, and they were able to grow food more to their liking. They had taken with them food to last for more than 2 years, but when it ran out, they had to eat Eben food, which they never learned to like. Due to radiation exposure, 2 of the members of the expedition died whilst on Serpo. 2 Americans like life on Serpo so much they decided to stay there. The remaining astronauts returned home in 1978, and the government quarantined them for about an entire year. During that time, they had many debriefings, which resulted in a 3,000-page report. Man, but your hand got sore after that when writing 3,000 pages. They were allowed to go back to their normal lives. Little is known about their lives since, except the last surviving one died in 2002. There has been no communication with Evans on Serpo since 1985, so it's not known what happened to the Americans who chose to stay on the planet. In 2005, UFO discussion group leader and former government employee Victor Martinez received a series of emails from someone identified only as Anonymous. Anonymous claimed to be a retired government employee, and he or she supplied much of the information about the exchange program. Through the years, officials have been privy to the information have been provided. Some acknowledgements that reports are true. The transcript of the President Ronald Reagan briefing by then CIA Director William Casey was discovered. It was a top secret meeting, and the recording happened between March the 6th and 8th, 1981. Director Casey provided Reagan information about the exchange program. Reagan had quite a few questions, what he was told would be answered later in an additional briefing session. Unfortunately, we do not have a transcript of that session. So many questions are still left unanswered. Reagan mentioned his belief in UFOs and has high regard for Steven Spielberg from time to time. He even invited Spielberg to the White House for a special screening of Spielberg's movie E.T. Phone Home, the Extraterrestrial, released in June 1982. Is humanity ready to know the truth? Now may be the time for the government to release its information regarding the UFOs, ETs, and the Evans resonance of the planet, Serpo, including information concerning 12 brave Americans who participated in Project Serpo exchange program. Those who communicate with blue avians convey that only through this disclosure can we find peace. So, I told you that you'd know it. I mean, there's a lot of it. There's so much information there, but that is the true story behind Close Encounters of the Third Kind. I've been wanting to do that article for a while, and I thought today was the perfect time to do it. Perfect time to do it. Woo, woo. So, as I said, especially to the Lady Rod, who's now not here, I'm going to throw the joke in now. Hey, Google, what's the joke of the day?
Sorry, I didn't understand.
Hey, Google, tell us a joke about aliens.
Sorry, I don't understand.
Hey, Google, tell us a joke.
What kind of button can you not undo? A belly button.
Not heard that one before, but very, very. It was bad. That was bad. That was that was that bad. So now we go from one UFO story, and please, if you've enjoyed that one about Project Serpo, let me know what you think. I let you know, as I said before, I'd love to hear your thoughts. I'd love to know what you think of the show overall, and without you, what I do is pointless. So I love to hear people's thoughts on the shows. Just let us know. You can find the comments down below. Now, I'm going to go from Project Serpo. Something that's happened more sooner than then, or more later than I should say. I've seen this a few times on different shows. I'm talking about the Phoenix Lights. Now, I don't mean the heights of the houses in Phoenix either. No, I do not. No, I do not. Now, according to the Mutual UFO Network, or MUFO, on March the 13th, 1997, between 7:30 and 10:30 p.m., thousands of people. These are thousands of people who have seen these things. How can it's, you know, how can people say no, it wasn't, or well, how can people say, whatever means? Too many people have seen it to, skirt that. Thousands of people reported seeing strange bright lights flying over Nevada, Arizona, and parts of Mexico. It wasn't just one event. There were many events across the state for more than 12 hours. Phoenix Lights Network spokeswoman Lynn Coity said the first event was described as a V-shaped object the size of a commercial plane soaring through the sky. One witness from Prescott, who wished to be known as JR, must be a Dallas fan. I said it was from Dallas. Said he watched a boomerang-shaped object glide over Granite Mountain, and it was at least a mile wide. He said, "There's no way it was from this planet. We don't have anything that big," he said. "It was totally silent. I've never seen anything even close to the colours from the exhaust that propelled that thing. It was as big as downtown. Prescott, and completely blocked out the stars." The second event was reported by an unidentified former Arizona police officer who claimed he saw a series of stationary orange and red lights hanging over the valley. The Phoenix lights were treated as a joke at first by then Governor Fife Symington, who had an aide dressed as an alien for a press conference about the phenomenon. "This just goes to show you that you guys are entirely too serious," Symington said. However, Symington later did a complete 180 and not only said he saw the lights himself, but believed them to be completely otherworldly origin. "I'm a pilot, and I know just about every machine that flies," he said. "It was bigger than anything I've ever seen. It remains a great mystery. Other people saw it, responsible people. I don't know why people would ridicule it like he did before with the bloke dressed up as an alien." The orange and red lights were later explained away as flares dropped by military aircraft during a training exercise at the Barry Goldwater Range. However, the V-shaped object remains unexplained. Phoenix lights have captured the imaginations of millions over the past 2 decades, including some people in Hollywood. The phenomenon was a key plot point of a blah, 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 blah. It's live, people. It's live. The phenomenon was a key point of a found footage horror film, Phoenix Forgotten, which was released last year. The film told the story of Sarah Bishop, a documentary filmmaker who returned to Phoenix 20 years after her brother disappeared, investigating the Phoenix Light. In the movie, Bishop came across a video recorded by her brother and 2 others about their experiences investigating the light. The found footage style of film was first popularised by cult film The Blair Witch Project. The event was also the focus of both a book and a documentary. That will be screened Sunday, blah, 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 blah. But those who are not only ties between the UFO and the silver screen, actor Kurt Russell claimed he was the pilot that reported the phenomenon. "I was flying my son to go see his girlfriend, and we were on approach. I saw 6 lights over the airport, absolutely uniform in a V shape," he said in the BBC interview last year. Well, would have been 2 years back. This is an old article that I'm rereading. UFO sightings are fairly common in the Phoenix area. There are reports of strange lights in the desert sky multiple times each year. According to a 2014 Washington Post article, Arizona has the highest number of UFO sightings per capita in the country. So that is the Phoenix Lights. Now, out of those, what did you prefer? What was your thoughts? Do you think it was a real spacecraft that hovered over Phoenix in those years? What do I think? Well, I don't think it were flares. I believe it was a craft flying across. Whether it was an American secret craft or alien, I can't say. I do lean towards an alien species flying above. That wouldn't surprise me. And the amount of lights, the amount of spacecraft that apparently feel is that way, goes that way. So I'd love to hear your opinions. I would love to hear your opinions on both the articles that I've gone into. Please leave me a message after the phone. All you got to do is type it in. If you and on that note, on that note, it's time to say, if you've enjoyed the video so far, please hit that thumbs up. And if you want to see some more of my videos when they come out, please subscribe. It's just down there. And if you want to know these videos are coming out, all you got to do is ring my bell. Ring the bell, ding dong. And please tell your friends about the show. Tell them. Spread the word. I need to get more people to see these videos. Please spread the word. And on that note, this is Trevor Rev. Ain't no liquor. Signing off. Chip it off, my friends. Until next time, bye bye.